Hello everyone, welcome to Quick Code Academy. Today in this video, I'm going to tell you how we can create HTTP interceptors in Angular 20. So those who have already aware of creating interceptor in Angular previous version, they will find this familiar. Okay, those who are just starting, for them also I will explain why we require HTTP interceptor in our Angular. Okay, so right now I will show you like what are the APIs that we have. So we have two APIs. One is for get to do items like this, and one is get list item. So like this you will also have some API endpoints in your application. So these are just free APIs that I am consuming from the internet. Okay, so this is the service file where I have mentioned this code of this.http.get to do's and post. In my component file I am calling this APIs. So first I have injected this API service. Now I am calling these two APIs. One is get to do items, another one is get list item. So let's first see on the browser what is happening and what we want to achieve through the HTTP interceptor, so that you are clear with the concept. So right now you can see, since we have called these two APIs in OnJo we can see that in the our developer tools. How to open developer tools? You can click Ctrl+Shift+I on your Windows PC and it will open this console, and from this you have to switch to the network. Okay, so right now we have this to do's and we are getting the response. Okay, and for posts as well we are getting the response, but there is one difference while calling these two APIs. So first is this get to do item. So if you pay close attention to the headers, here we are passing the explicit headers to this particular API, and in this particular for the post API we are not passing anything. Okay, here we are passing headers at new HTTP headers and authorization as bearer 123. Here we are not passing anything. So what will happen for this particular API? We will find this particular header in the network, but for this we won't find it. So let's go back to the API. So here if I go to headers, and here you should see somewhere a bearer 123. Let's see whether we see that or not. So here we are getting it is just below accept language, and we are getting bearer 123. Whereas in post, if we just scroll down, we won't find that particular header. Why? Because it is not getting attached and we are not passing it. So in a practical Angular application, we don't pass the some headers individually to the each API. Otherwise we would have to write too much code to attach these headers at every place. Instead, Angular provides us mechanism called interceptor, which can intercept all the APIs arising from our application, and it will attach the header to each API. So if we want to attach some headers to all the API, we have to do some exception handling from all APIs at the global levels. At that time, the HTTP interceptor is useful. So what I will do, I will just remove this part, and we can see like with what mechanism we would be able to attach that particular headers to this both the APIs. So what I will do, I have already created one core component, and within that I have this folder called as HTTP interceptor. So I will just click on open in integrated terminal. So we will create the HTTP interceptor. So how to create that? Either you can manually create the file, or you can just simply type the command called as ng generate interceptor and the name of the interceptor. So I have mentioned it as ng generate interceptor, and I have given the name as base interceptor. And when I will open this particular interceptor, here we have the required boilerplate already available. Okay, so here we have this HTTP interceptor function that we are importing from @angular/common/http, and we are exporting this particular base interceptor. The type is HTTP interceptor function. It has two arguments, rec and next. Okay, so right now this is boilerplate, but what we need to do, we need to attach that authorization header to each individual API. So how we can do that? So what we can do, we can first give one create a clone of this request. So how we can do that? I will just mention const auth rec, then I will create the clone. How we can create the clone? Rec.clone. So that means whatever request that is passed, it is being cloned, and here I will pass object, and then I will mention set headers. Within set headers also we need to pass all the headers that we want to pass. So for demonstration purpose, I am passing this authorization. and the same bearer 123. So right now I'm passing this static value, but this should be your auth token. Okay, so now let's just see whether it reflects or not. So I'm thinking it will not reflect because one more thing we have to do. So here let me go again, and here I'm not seeing anything, right? So authorization headers for both the things. Why this is happening? Because once we create the HTTP interceptor, we need to register it as well, right? So this is something different in Angular latest versions. So what you need to do, you can go to app.config.ts file, so where you should already find the provide HTTP client. If you don't have this, your HTTP APIs won't work, so it should be already present, and if it is not present, then you can add this provide HTTP client. So now we don't just want this provide HTTP client, along with that we have to pass the interceptors as well. So what I will do with interceptors, okay, and this is function where you can pass the list of all the interceptors that we have. So currently we just have the base interceptor with us, so that is why I will mention base interceptor. So this is how you register your interceptor. Now let's just see whether that particular thing is getting attached to our both the APIs or not. So first one is to do's, and let's just see whether it is getting attached or not. So right now I'm not seeing anything. So let's just see why it has happened. So see, we have created this auth rake clone and authorization. This is also perfect, but while returning, we are just returning this request. Instead we have to return this clone request, which is this one, auth rake. And this is what happens when you try to create the base interceptor and you try to find the mistake, but you don't realize that whatever we are cloning, that we are passing. So this is one of the real life case. So now I think we should be able to see our new authorization header bearer 123, and also here as well bearer 123. So now just for a testing purpose, I will change this to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So let's just see whether it reflects or not. And here it is getting reflected. So this is how you can create the interceptor in your Angular latest version, Angular 20, and it will start working for you. So this is just one example where I've shown you how we can pass the headers, but you can create as many interceptors as you want, where we can do the error handling as well, right? So this was just basic about base interceptor and how you can integrate into your latest application, Angular 19. So if you have liked this video and you have learned something from this, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you.